Good evening, good evening. All right, now, welcome to Men's Edition, presented by Creative Emotions. I'm Chef Wilson. We're going to get right into the show today, but I always like for my brothers to introduce themselves, because no one can introduce you the way you can. I'm going to start to my right.
How you doing today, Chef?
I'm amazing, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. You know, as the world know, I'm Lee Polo, you know what I'm saying, a.k.a. Leon Johnson, a.k.a. the guy y'all want to talk to, you know, stuff like that.
I like And to my left.
I'm Brother Ezra. I come to try to bring some understanding, edification from spiritual level, you know, scriptural level
Yes.
of the Bible. Nothing of what I feel, only from understanding of the scriptures. So
Yes.
that's what I'm here for.
All right. So today's show topic is a division. We're going to be discussing what is seemed to be pretty hot in our community. And that's that one thing. How do we bring African men and women back together? Not only in relationships for successful co-parenting. It seems to be it's a lot of man versus women topics on social media and vice versa. So we're hoping with this show we can begin to cancel that out. We're going to start off our show right away with our first video, and then hopefully we get some callers in, if not in the beginning, with some course of the show, to tell us what you feel about this.
It's definitely a topic that needs to be heard, because a lot of people don't understand division is hurting us as a society and also as men.
Yes.
You know, it's a shame that we allow the littlest things to come between us, and I'm glad that Brother Ezra is here today, because he's going to be able to share a biblical side to that whole story that we never really talk about.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely a spiritual war that's going on out here, and the war is against family. Okay, the war is against family. The war is against union and stuff like that. So, Mike.
Closer.
It's definitely a war that's going on. It's spiritually, okay.
Mm-hmm.
The devil, which is the enemy, and everybody that work for him, they do not want us to be united, okay. So scripturally, I'm gonna try and help people understand the things that's coming against us. It's programmed. It's not our fault. You know what I'm saying? It's not our fault. But at the same time, it is, because once you recognize it, like the old saying go, once you know better, you got to do better, right? So,
yes,
you know,
sure.
you're going to have to take some accountability in this thing to move forward.
Yes. And that is the key word. So we're going to get right into the video at this time.
We've created a generation of narcissistic women. And what's happened is the rise of social media and the rise of online dating and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. Every poor choice is glamorized. So if you want to be a sex worker, it's great. If you want to post in bikini pictures online, it's fine. If you want to be in with it, every poor choice is glamorized, and every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself. So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. And so what will happen is they are trained to not reflect on themselves, because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project. And so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I. And unfortunately, we've got an online market that caters to that wounded woman, that caters to that entitled woman, and caters to that narcissistic woman. And it's so wild to me that so many women talk about narcissism, but the society today is just catering to narcissistic women.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, that was, but she on point.
Yeah.
She on point. And the the devil's original sin, the reason why he fell out with the Most High was because of that vanity, bro.
Yes.
Right.
Because of that vanity. And he's running this world. He's in control of this world by permission. I mind you, by permission. But he's in control of this world to just weed out the ones that's not strong enough to follow the Most High. You know, to follow rules. It's rules to this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And it kind of leads off from where you left off with accountability. The first thing comes to mind after watching this video is social media. Its original intent was to connect people, to inform people,
Right.
maybe to advertise your business.
Okay.
But it is somewhat turned around into a look at me. Let me paint this narrative. I have a perfect life. Victim stories on there now. So I would like to say 90% of what you see on social media is for your entertainment. That's it. It's for your entertainment. Then you have a 10%. You have people advertising business, connecting with others. So do not use social media as a blueprint for your life.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Not for your life.
Right.
Not to say I can outdo her, I can outdo him. Let me have this online resume, which is very delusional.
To a degree. I mean, like I agree with you saying, Chef, wholeheartedly, but I guess I look at it from because of what I do for a living is that I promote the positivity of social media and what you can do with it.
Absolutely.
So it becomes I would say to the person who you following. When you stop at that person's content and you take a long time indulging in that content, what type of content are you indulging in? You know, are you indulging in content that's really informative or helping you with some prosper in some part of your day? Are you looking at content that is just BS content?
Right.
Because that's what she was talking about, the narcissistic side of society where people are allowing the women are allowing themselves to be bigger than what they are because they have to be something that they never had to be before.
Yes.
And that was the whole underhanded, backhanded plan with the social media. Social media came in like it was just, Facebook. We'll talk about Facebook. Facebook came in like it was just a place where meet up with old friends and do business and stuff like that. And it turned into a whole different demon, right?
Right.
You go back to the Garden of Eden when the devil had tempted Eve with that apple. And he was like, yeah, once you take a bite of this, the whole world gonna open up to you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what social media is, bro. We like I say, when we first got on there, it was about this. It was about business and reconnecting with people. But social media, the entity social media started hyping up negative behavior. Okay? And because men are thirsty, okay, and women go on there and they want to show their privates and all that other stuff to get those likes and to get those heart bubbles and things like that, it just boosted them. It boosted they social Facebook confidence or whatever you want to call it. But it's not exuding out into the world, but nothing but negativity. You see?
Yes.
So it's real poisonous.
Yes, it is.
Right. Definitely.
So at this point, I'd like to ask you guys, I'm going to start with you, Polo.
Okay.
So with social media, since our topic is a division, what part of this do you believe is playing a role in men and women not believing, not trusting enough to come back together? What part of this social media is standing out to you that's playing a big role with this? And also with co-parenting, because I do want to touch base on that.
Well, I'm going to tackle the first one first, the first question you asked. Social media is really dividing us because people are believing in falsisms. Like whatever you got going in your household that's not right doesn't mean that you have to predicate the falsism of it. Like you don't have to just believe in it. And so social media tells you in order to be successful, you got to have a nice car. You got to have a nice house. You got to make money. But the reality to it is that it's a whole nother part of that before you get there. Like before I can get the nice car, what am I doing the struggle part?
Yes.
And social media don't talk about that. Now you hear certain motivational speakers and certain people talking about it, but the real content creators are saying, hey, before you get this Benz, before you get this whatever house you want, what are you going to do in between there? And so that's what division come in, because people feel like can go from A to D without going through B and C, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
So that's a great question. You know, I'm gonna let Mr. Ezra tackle that one.
Yeah. I think the vision has came in with like he said, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of false pretense that's out there. I can go on social media and create a whole different life for myself.
Yep.
A whole different life for myself, okay? But that only helps me on social media, okay? Once I get out here into the real world, I'm dealing with real people and stuff like that, I don't know how to function.
Right. Right.
You know, and that's on both sides. That's men and women.
True.
You know what I'm saying? That's men and women, not just, you know, talking about one group. We're together.
Right.
We have to, we accountability. I can't say that word enough. You know, you're not getting it like
Right.
that.
Accountability.
Stop saying that you getting it like that, bro.
Right.
It's gonna come with all type of situations. If you out here flashing your money, you know what I'm saying, flashing your tax return, you know what I'm saying, you out here whipping around in your rental and stuff like that, and you're trying to pull up on her, and she got it like that.
Would you say your rental?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, she gonna expect a certain type of man out of you. You know what I'm saying? She gonna expect a certain type of income, and you ain't got it like that. It's just gonna all fall apart because it's all based on false pretenses. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane.
I gotta add this for him because he said this is real true story, real quick.
Okay.
I swear to God, this girl said she was on social media, right? So she on social media. She was like, I was about to reach out to this girl, and da 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 da. She was so successful, and this, that, and the other. And when she reached out to her, luckily the girl kept it real. Said, "Oh, right now I'm living with somebody. I'm messed up."
Yep.
She had just posted that morning how she was doing everything right, but she kept it real. And the girl said at that point, that's when she realized, like, ain't this about to?
Yeah.
I'm about to follow you, and you ain't even doing half the stuff you saying you're doing.
Exactly.
You used to do it.
Yes.
You could have do it. You kind of could have done it, but you ain't doing it right now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what if she would have lied?
Right.
If she was getting, go ahead, brother.
They put us up on a show called Catfish a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I caught a couple of episodes of that, and I was like, oh, it's for real. You know, it's real. I don't know how old that show is, but it's for real like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, these people, they paint these pictures of themselves and then they start believing it.
Yes.
It is one thing if you have a social media presence or something like that. I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. You know, you may have an alter ego. I get that. But don't start believing it. You know what I'm saying?
You're an alter ego. I like that one.
Yeah, you're not for real Batman out here, man. Don't do that. You know, so that is it's because them them likes and them heart bubbles,
Yes.
and them views and all that stuff like that gives people a false pretense, okay? And that was a devised plan by a man named Albert Pike, okay? You find out Albert Pike and what he was about, and he said that we were going to do this. He said that, a century ago. He said we was going to do this. We're going to make it a point system, and everybody going to feel like because they got these many points, they feel good. Not just social media, but credit scores. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's people out here just, you know, they pop they collar because they credit score 800. You know what I mean? Like, it's for real.
But hold on.
No, hold on. I agree. Because back here, since I'm newly single, I was saying, man, if one more woman tell me your credit score, I'm on screen. Like, you about to buy me a boat? What is this? Why are you leading with this? First of all,
That's the problem. That's what I was going to say. Like, 'cause it's cool to have an 800 credit score. I'm not going to lie. But the problem is, you know how many people got good credit in our community and do not use it for anything?
Anything.
Yes. No more just to say, oh, I got 750. I had a lady friend, right? And she said, yeah, my credit score is 750. I said, so I know you can get loans and this and that. She said, loans for what? I don't want no debt. I said, so you got a good credit score. You said you got one, but you ain't using to do none of the stuff that you're supposed to do it with to make money. I said, wow, this is what they teach us.
Absolutely. Check that guy out. Albert Pike, man.
I'm going to check it out.
So if I can add one thing to the question, and I'm going to answer it myself.
Okay.
With social media, I think how it plays a role with the division is unrealistic expectations. that are being placed out there. So you have women and men that are, because we're just not going to make it one way, that are watching these videos and these lives of someone getting blindfolded and walked outside to the driveway, and there's a Bentley in there with a big bow on it. Now, they may not equate it to a Bentley, but it's just the thing about being presented and showered with gifts constantly. And that's what I see a lot of vacations where someone's posting pictures they're on a resort. Now, you don't know that, they didn't max out 2 credit cards to get there.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now that expectation is put on someone's relationship. So when are we going to go out of town? When are we going to go to a resort? So I need a new car too.
Right.
So I think that plays a role on the division. Not to mention, like you said, the struggle of getting there. So when I see all these single parents on all these trips, my first thing, who's at home with the kids?
Right.
Because grandma ain't, she not that old school grandma. She on the island too. She doing her thing.
Right.
So that's the first thing that comes in my mind when I think of the division and the unrealistic expectations that are being placed on them. And that's stress, financial stress, right? Yeah. Which leads to a whole other thing, other entities and dividing or breaking, I believe, a relationship or having people come together.
Right.
Right? When you meet somebody, man, if you meet some of these people out here and you just get to talking to them and maybe they discussing the qualities they want within a person, you be like, man, this is unrealistic.
100%.
Like, really?
It's so funny that we're talking about this because I was talking to a young lady today and she blew my mind by saying, and this is so new for me, when somebody said, yeah, I want to struggle with my dude. I want to grow with him. Because I'm going to say she established. But by her saying that, it was so new and so refreshing because most women say, I need you to come in somewhere at a certain level, when in reality, that's you giving me a division bar just because you're saying, I need you to come here. You haven't even figured out why I'm not there. What if I'm not there because I'm actually building a real business, doing real things, because now this culture, this society has told me that I can be an entrepreneur.
Right.
I can be at home and make the $60,000, and I'm just going to use that for an example, fellas, doing Turo.
Right.
You can literally make $60,000 doing Turo being at home. Why are we not talking about the things that make money that make people a better person versus always talking about get a job?
That's what we bombarded with.
Yeah.
Okay, we bombarded with division all day long. You know what I'm saying? Society has gotten us to the point where we don't appreciate our simple things no more.
Exactly.
We don't appreciate them no more. You know what I'm saying? The simple things, it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? That having that person that you can be with and, you know what I'm saying, y'all have a good time with. Instead of that person you be when you constantly checking him or her about the money that they not making and the things that you don't have and all that stuff like that. Not appreciating the time that y'all had together. You see what I'm saying? Because I said this a long time ago. When you're on your deathbed, okay, and I was there when my mother was on hers, okay, she didn't talk about how much money she didn't make. She didn't talk about the places where she didn't go.
Wow.
She didn't, you know what I'm saying? The only thing she talked about was family.
Okay.
Family, that was it. She talked about family and she talked about God. That was it. So at the end of your life, none of that little stuff matters. I mean, none of them frivolous things matters. Only the little things matter. You know, when you can have the little things and be happy with that, everything else is just extra.
Right.
You know, everything else is extra.
Okay. I would agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
That was some cold stuff you just laid down, Brother Ezra.
I hope you guys heard that part.
Right, that was cold, baby.
And just to get on to a couple other things that I don't know about you guys, and I want you to answer this. I think we're all in contact with people throughout today, especially you, Polo. And in that time, I know you have to listen to people talking about relationships, right? Since that's what we're talking about today. And if you guys can think of a few things, because I talk to people, And I talked to some guys. I talked to the guys at work. And one thing came up a few different times. And they said, well, a lot of good women are wondering why us men are not willing to commit in relationships or to marriage. And the thing that came up, they said, we can't tell the difference between a good woman and a city girl because they both move in the same.
Yeah. Birds of a feather flock together.
And then women ask me that, man, these guys, they just don't want to commit. I wonder why. So when I heard that, I said, wow, that's why. Because they this flat out, ladies, not to all ladies, right?
Right.
And maybe all men don't feel this way, but I think it's a large percentage that cannot tell the difference between a good woman, a good lady, and a city girl. Because you guys, it appears that you all are moving the same.
Right.
And let me tell you, city girls got game too. They got that conversation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they professionals.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that came up. And then the other thing that came up was that that a lot of people here now are not prepared for the level of commitment or discipline that comes with the request of the qualities and requirements that they want out of a mate. Did you get that?
I do.
Man, that. Okay, go ahead. Say it again.
I said most people are not prepared for the level of commitment and discipline that comes with the qualities and the requirements that they're wanting out of a mate. That they're out.
That's deep, brother.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people using this word high value. Let me tell you about a high value person. It comes in their beliefs, first of all, but we transfer it to like material items and the cash that they make. But anyone who has taken out time to build themselves or build a business, they are very disciplined, right?
Right.
And they surround themselves with like-minded people, right? Because they know if they don't, how they can get derailed the wrong way. So if you plan on coming into this person's life, you can be a man or a woman, you have to realize that you have to be prepared with that commitment and that discipline, even over your own desires.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody like me, I'll tell you, and I say this out of all respect, but I'll walk you to the front door. Do you get what I'm saying?
Chef, too hard, man. You too hard, baby. Too hard,
No,
baby.
we got it. We're taking gloves off.
Right.
I will walk you to the front door.
Okay.
If you're about to take me away from my peace or my focus, I don't have time for it. I've been there before.
Okay.
I'll do it in a loving way.
I feel you.
And then I'll tell you. But I will walk you to the front door. That's just that man that I am.
Okay. So
At this point.
let me ask you this. Say that number one, that question you said, the first one, when you asked that question to me and Ezra, Brother Ezra, when you said about the women, when they said the guy, the different ways how they look at the guy. The first question you asked was that same thing? You said how the woman be looking at the guy?
Be looking at, well, okay.
Right there, when you said, before you said, what was the question again? There was two questions. The last one you commented on, what's the first one though? Because the first one I got something directly quoting to that.
Oh, I said, what are some of the ways that you believe that social media has caused the
No, the
division?
second one. Okay, what's the second one then? The second question.
That's a good one because I can't remember.
No, because you was caught. The reason why I'm saying that, y'all, is because it's important to understand what Chef was alluding to was based on how a lot of women looking for guys and don't understand how a lot of guys don't know how to look for a woman.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
I'm sorry.
We have become a commodity.
Yes.
So my uncle used to always say this as a joke, and it was literally funny, Brother Ezra and Chef. He used to say, "Man, black man is a commodity because of all these things he stated." He said, "Black man is either in a relationship, he's either gay, he's either bisexual, he's in jail, and he's free." So if you have a single black man, he's become a commodity because he's rare. So because of that one statement, it changes how the man himself look at the woman. Now he feels as if he is the catch versus her being the queen that she is, being the rib that God gave us.
Yes.
And the young fellas nowadays, they call that zesty.
Right.
They call it zesty.
They call it zesty.
Exactly.
Okay, explain the zesty.
Zesty is any time From what I understand, because I'm a little older, zesty is acting feminine, bro.
Okay.
That is
Yeah,
acting feminine. When you in the mirror longer than she is, and you got to be prettier than she is, stuff like that's very zesty. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I mentioned that. Go ahead, Chef.
No, go ahead.
So I was just saying, I mentioned that because that's exactly what I'm saying. Because when you have these new, not just the millennials, but now you got the older guys who's coming out of long-term relationships, and they're single now, and now they're looking at, I can choose. And then that's the problem, because his choices are based on things that he never had at his beck and call.
And I would agree with you on that. And then even if we go back to, and I think this is one thing I wanted to share, Proverbs 18, verse 22. When they talk about when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing,
Exactly.
and obtain favor from the Lord. Now, the choosing part is that's just who we are in society. So men are always going to choose, and women are going to get chosen. Okay. Now it's up to them to accept the proposal, right? And I agree. And I do agree with what you were saying. So sometimes if you do come, like myself, if you came out of a relationship, you learn something. Now with me, mine is not so much about, I'm going to choose anyway. But I'm just avoiding anything that's going to disrupt my peace at all costs. I'm going to protect my peace. Right? Now, someone may not be where they're supposed to be at that time, and they may not know they're disrupting the peace. Because it all depends on how long you've been out here in the streets doing what you're doing. It just become a norm to you.
Right.
You're coming to someone's life not knowing that you're taking away or disrupting something.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And that's the downfall when we're talking about how social media and what's keeping men and women from coming together. And sometimes it's your lifestyle, your hot boy summer or hot girl summer that goes into the fall, winter, and the spring, right? And it just becomes a way of your life. And you don't know that you're disrupting peace or being disrespectful, right? You have no clue because that's just your new mindset on life.
There is no honesty. There's no honesty in the society right now. I can remember coming up, young guy trying to be an inspirational rapper and stuff like that. A lot of people, I ain't say a lot of people, but a lot of times I heard the term "fake it till you make it." Okay,
Right.
Now people out here are really faking it, and they will never make it. They don't have any plans, aspirations, anything to making it, but they gonna fake it, and they'll get mad at you for finding out that they fake it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're dealing with. But when it comes to the type of relationships, the type of healthy relationships that you're looking for and stuff like that, you are gonna have to kiss a lot of frogs. Okay. That's it. It's simple as that.
I got you.
You got to kiss a lot of frogs. Most high willing, you talk to somebody and boom, y'all hit it right off and it's happily ever after. But that usually only happen on Disney.
Okay, absolutely. But I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna add this because I feel you on the frogs for real. Women, listen to what he said. Frogs is. Okay, they turn into princes. But I also believe that when you get that person, that frog, conversate. Communication is key. It's so much division out here when it comes to the sexes that we have to look at life from a different perspective. Stop thinking just because this guy got, quote unquote, the outside circumference look good, that the inside supposed to be good too. The core could be rotten. So you got to really dive in deep. Ask those hard questions while you can ask them in a nice way. Don't be overbearing, but ask the questions that you need to ask to find out what this man really about.
Facts.
Because very few women, and I swear to God, I'm at title for this. Very few women ever act when I was just at the plant, working, traveling the world, doing all these things that was miraculous. Nobody ever asked me nothing real.
Right. And to lamb back off of that, not piggyback, I don't eat pork. To lamb back off of that. To lamb back off of that, bro.
Yeah, I got to
stop. The females, if this is very key. This is a secret that I'm giving away. Okay,
Message.
ladies, when you trying to talk to this guy, when you trying to talk to him, and he don't want to communicate, he don't want to communicate, he has I can't say a disorder or something like that. I'll just say he hasn't grown up yet. Okay,
Yes.
because grown men like to communicate.
Don't they?
That's
Yes.
how we know everything is everything. Okay,
That's true, that's
when there's
true.
no communication and something comes up, that's when we get mad. Okay.
That's real.
Ladies, if you with this man and you trying to talk to him, not talk at him. You're trying to talk to him, and he doesn't want to talk ever. He might get mad and not want to talk and come back to talk later. But if you trying to have a serious conversation with this man and he don't want to have a serious conversation ever, he's a child. He's a grown child. He hasn't dealt with his feelings, and he don't want to deal with his feelings. Leave him.
Brother Eric, I'm going to add on to that. I'm going to line back on that. No, I'm saying serious, but if a guy is not talking, he got emotional issues that you bet not want to deal with right now.
Absolutely.
You better be like, red flag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What they say, football, flag on the play.
Flag on the play. Yeah.
30-yard penalty. That nigga something wrong.
Right. Absolutely. Throw him back. That's not the catch
Right.
you want. Throw him back. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, once he deal with his issues and stuff like that and makes himself a better man, because if you like him at that point right there and he becomes a better man, you're going to absolutely love him. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if he don't never open up to you and he just, trying to act like this is a macho thing, this is a man thing, and we don't communicate, and these are our feelings, and no, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's a caveman, okay? Get rid of him.
And I agree with you, and we all know, and I've learned some while ago, and I always known this, but the most important part of communication is listening. So you do have to slow down, because I believe in communication.
Yep.
So you can communicate something to someone, and then later on, once you cross that bridge or whatever happens, it's like it's the first time they heard it. I told you this in the beginning.
Right.
Don't be so surprised.
Exactly.
What we're talking about now, we're going to go into our second video, and I believe it leads into, so I'm going to stop it right here so we can do the video, and we can tag on to that. So we go into the second video. I appreciate it.
Yep. Video number 2.
Y'all gotta stop with that whole I got a lot of options mentality, because you really don't. We are living in a generation where the majority of everyone is cutthroat, damaged, battling demons, have hidden agendas, don't know how to give or receive love, fine with situationships and sneaky links, don't have any morals, and just completely lost. It's very rare that you come across someone who's really for you, that's gonna stimulate you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and financially. Y'all really out here fumbling good people that you come across once in a lifetime, just to spend the rest of yours searching for it in all these temporary people. You'll learn the hard way that not everyone can be replaced. Period.
Yeah.
Now,
That was tough.
this goes back to what you were saying. You're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah.
Right?
And have tough skin.
And have tough skin. That's why communication and listening is very, very important, because you could have that man or that woman in front of you, because you're not listening. You're not listening and communicating right. You let them slip right through your hands.
Right.
So I do believe in the communication and the listening, or you will be, like we said, kissing the frogs. In this video, he made it very clear, and this is something I'm going to ask you guys. I see this a lot. I just see it where I work at, and people are out here struggling. They're really struggling. So how do you feel about the video, brother?
My guy was absolutely right.
Okay.
He was absolutely right. It's a lot of people out here that have hidden agendas and stuff like that. That's where the tough skin gonna come in.
Okay.
Okay, that's where the tough skin gonna come in. Me myself, that was always helped me in those type of situations and stuff like that, and until I got married and and I got my faith in the Most High and my wife, right? The thing that helped me the most was the tough skin, understanding that everybody is not going to treat me like I would treat them.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's an accountability on myself. So if that way, if I put my everything into loving somebody and it don't work out, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. You see? So it's gonna be situations where you're gonna deal with people and stuff like that. But don't give up on love. Don't give up on unity because they jackasses. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's people out here that don't think like that. It's people out here that don't do what they do and stuff like that. And the Most High, or other people might call it energy or something like that, it'll start pulling you towards those type of people that's really on your side like that. You might not be in a physical relationship with this person, but y'all might become friends or, bro and sis or some junk like that. So it's a whole lot of ways to have like a relationship with other humans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything don't have to be like a love relationship where we make babies and stuff like that. It can just be an understanding relationship. You see what I'm saying? True. Just understanding, like a platonic relationship. I have female friends. You see what I'm saying? Never thought of them as sexy. Never tried to hit on them. Never no stuff like that. It's always been the minds connecting. Absolutely. Or the backgrounds connecting and the similarities and stuff connecting and stuff like that. We're gonna have to understand that it's some janky people out here, man.
And I love what you just said. That really hit home. And if you're just tuning in, the show topic today, we're talking about the division. So we're just talking about the things that are keeping men and women from coming together. If you desire companionship or marriage, and we're talking about some possible ways that we can get around this thing and help heal and come back together. Polo, watching this last video, is there anything about that video that kind of stood out to you that you like to comment on?
Definitely. I appreciate that. I look at it like this, Chef. The video is one of them things that people, you got to understand. When you go through life, man or woman, you're not going to get everything you want right off the rip. You're not going to get it. So the problem that the videos pointed out is that from a woman point of view, y'all in control of a lot of things that we have allowed y'all to be in control of through society. And Brother Ezra can really tackle that a lot better than I can. But the thing I want to say is that when you look at what we go through, you don't, just because a man don't check every box on your category doesn't mean he's not a good man. You got to find those boxes that go deeper than what kind of car he drive, what kind of house he live at. You got to ask questions like, what do we do for his kids that people don't ask those questions. What do you do for your kids? And then make him accountable for those things. What do you do for his mother? What do you do for his father, his brother, his grandmother? These things that we don't really talk about when it comes to relationships, because that's going to change the way you look at stuff. And that's what that video is saying. You might be throwing away a good dude just because he ain't checking the boxes that society said he got to check.
Right.
He might not have the best car.
Absolutely.
He may not have the best job. But what is he doing outside of that? Because you may spark something in him to say, babe, you can go down and get a cybersecurity job because there's at least X amount of cybersecurity jobs in the world that you can go get. And you got to wait for 16 months and I'll help you get that job. This man gonna go from whatever he doing. Let's say he making $30,000, he gonna automatically go to $100-some thousand. But you ain't thinking like that because he didn't check a box.
Absolutely.
That's what the video said to me. We gotta check. People ain't checking boxes.
Yes. And I pretty much got the same from that. And I'll just go back to stop allowing social media and people wanting likes to dictate your life, a blueprint. Like this is the holy grail of how I should be living. Absolutely. And like you just said, Polo.
I got something for you because Q just commented on something, and I just want to bring that out there.
Okay.
She said that is so true that everyone can't be replaced. And it's important for us to say that because a lot of people don't understand. This is from a woman point of view, y'all. And we have other women that's on the show. Cynthia Bridges done said, good evening, fellas. Ari Bass, she had talked about just a lot of things that was going on. I commented on saying yes, Polo too. And I say all these things because we need to understand that we have women and men that's commenting on the same things we're talking about on and off the show. This ain't just us talking. It's people that's watching us who saying, hey, we believe in you and trust in you. So I'm throwing it back to you, just letting you know. Got to give you that. Got to give you the report.
Thank you for that. And that's very important when we're sharing. So, and today, even in society, if you did not get this information at home, a lot of people say the streets raised me.
Right.
Right. So the streets turned to social media. All right. That's all that just got replaced. Right. You reach more people.
True.
So, like I was about to say, don't allow social media to be your holy grail on how you should be living your life, because a lot of these people are doing it for the likes, right? The instant gratification, right? That's why they're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an online resume, and you can put what you want on it, right? So if you sit back and say, "Oh, this kind of makes sense to me. I should be living this way. I should have this." But we go back to what you said earlier, Polo. No one's showing the process. In school, you have to show all your math before the answer, right? And that's what's missing. No one's showing the work.
Yeah, you don't show the work, the whole question, it's all wrong.
That's what make it unrealistic. You just get to the good part, right?
Right.
We get to the good part, and that's what happened with marriages, right? And that's I think that's the one thing that's been missing. If you have someone in your life, they've been married for 40 years, right? And you just see that the credit is good, the grass is cut, everything looks perfect. Let's go back and talk about how we got there, because we need to know
Exactly.
that every day what the grass wasn't cut.
Exactly.
And we almost lost the house.
Exactly.
And he got laid off, but I got another job, and then he got hired in, but I loved him, or I loved her, so we
Right.
stuck together. But no one's talking about that.
Right.
As soon as something doesn't line up in a box is not checked, next, you're out of here.
Right.
Exactly.
Like you said, Chef, everything is microwave.
Yes.
And nobody wanna go through the process. They just wanna get straight to the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it don't work like that. We have to understand that getting straight to the good stuff, it doesn't work like that. But what we also have to understand on another level was that this was a planned idea from day one. Okay. It started after the civil rights movement.
Okay.
After the civil rights movement, you had the ladies, the women's liberation movement. Okay.
Right.
And our culture, okay, our women's didn't need no liberating. Okay, they love being at home, taking care of the children, taking care of the house, this, that, and the third. Us as men, we love going to work, going to starting our business, taking care of our family, protecting our family, doing things for people that wasn't getting it like we was, but they still lived in the neighborhood. You're my neighbor. I want you to stay here. I've known you for 7-8 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you mean you can't pay rent this month? We got you. You know what I'm saying? We got you. So that's why they got that. That's why society is constantly going, just giving us this garbage all day long. Because if we get back to the root of the things, being united and stuff like that, and keep giving each other understanding, being forgiven, all type of stuff like that, we can abolish a whole bunch of stuff that's wrong with our culture. Okay. And if we just unified, I was saying this to my wife earlier, if we just unified everybody of our culture, if we just unified for 2 days, we can bring this whole country down to its knees. Just for 2 days.
That's true.
No killing.
That's true.
No backstabbing. No this, no that. No negativity towards each other whatsoever. Just for 2 days, bro. This whole country will be at its knees, and they'll be at the table asking us, "What do we want? What do we need?"
Right.
And it has power to it, but a lot of us don't understand that it starts with family. And if they keep breaking up the family, they send the men over here, they send the women over there, and they lock the children up and they dumb the other ones down and stuff like that, we'll always be on the bottom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know we're going to be winding down soon, so I know we always take notes, so we have things you want to share. And one other thing I have to mention here, since we're talking about African men and women coming back together, one thing I would like to share is one thing is accountability.
Right.
It may bring somebody back to you.
For sure.
If you have accountability, humble yourself, it may bring someone back to you. And then the second thing I want to say, because we're talking about social media, I want to tell everyone to stop putting the expectations of a marriage on a relationship.
That's deep right there.
Okay? And this from me talking to men, because men believe the responsibilities will be doubled in a marriage. So if it's like this in a relationship, and most men think that the responsibility once in a marriage is double, they be like, okay, I'm just good. I'm barely making it in the relationship part, you know. And this goes back. This is one of the things that are keeping us from coming together.
Right.
So a lot of men are like, I'm good where I'm at because marriage. So that's one thing. I'm just going to put it there, and I'm going to leave that there. I'm sorry. Let's stop putting the expectations of a marriage on a relationship. What happened to courting? You're getting to know one another, right?
Right.
Everybody want to hurry up and get to the trips and the gifts and the events in a 6-month, 7-month relationship.
Yeah, they want.
You know, somebody be like, I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on.
On both sides. On both sides.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know
I'm
the funny
tapped
part?
out.
I swear to God, I just went through all that, right? And I said, man, I had to tell the girl, I said, I ain't really got it like that. She said, why you start off like that? I said, that's what society told me to do. She said, something wrong with you. I said, society told me to come in hot. I didn't know my bank account was going to go low.
That part right there.
I came in hot.
Came in on fire.
Yeah,
You jump right out of first gear in the fifth.
right.
You know, my bank account said, man, I'm in first gear.
Yeah, I said,
You
go out to
need
eat. We gonna party. We gonna do this. Okay. Then my bank account said, hey, brother, we can't keep doing this.
That goes back to what you were
man.
saying, brother. That the microwave era, everybody wanted right here, right?
Right.
And not only are people getting ran through, you just running through
That's
good
it, yeah.
situations,
That's it.
right? Real quick.
Right.
So it is, to me, it's not surprising, and I'm gonna say this, that people's body count is so high within a year. You get what I'm saying? So we need to slow this thing down. We're going to be wrapping it up, but I did want to touch on co-parenting, and you have to let go of the disappointment of the relationship that not work.
Right.
Right? And a lot of people use the children, but really what it is, they have a problem watching the person move on with someone else in peace, right? And grow with someone else who had the ability to commit in the areas maybe you did not.
Right.
So a lot of parents will make it so difficult for another parent so they can't have a functioning relationship, because somebody will look inside your household and be like, this is too much work.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. And that may be that other person and making it that way for you. So we have to let that go also, because I think that's causing a lot of people not to have functioning relationships also, because no one wants to come into baggage. Right? So we have to stop that. I did want to touch on that. We're going to be winding it up. However, if you guys can just take a couple minutes, if it's anything that you wanted to share at this moment, I'm just going to ask you to. We can start from either side of the table, because it may be something that you have to say that may be helpful for someone.
Yeah. I just want to say that we have to understand that we have been hoodwinked. I don't want to sound like Malcolm X, nothing like that, but we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. We have been tricked, okay? We have been tricked in believing that the black woman is not good enough for us. We've been tricked in believing that the black man is not good enough for us. We've been tricked into believing that what society has to say about us is the absolute truth and reflection of us. That's not what it is, okay? And that's what social media has done. The social media it really took the light out of who you are. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It took the light out of who you are. It don't matter how big you are on social media, how many followers and all that other stuff like that. It took the light from you, okay? You got to take that light back. Some people deactivate their accounts, okay, because they realize, oh, wait, this is a type of sickness. It is. I think they even got a diagnosis for it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. For this social media stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Got to break out of that, okay? Got to break out of it. Got to go back to being accountability. When you're looking for a mate, look for the things that you are able to personify, okay? Don't look for them to be something that you're not. You see what I'm saying? That's the downfall. We looking at our mate to be something that we're not.
Yes.
You know? In my opinion.
No, that's
And no, thank you, and I love that, and I'm sure the listening audience appreciate that also. The words of wisdom. Is there anything you'd like to share?
I got to, man. I got to tell y'all this. I got to. No, but Brother Ezra, he hit the nail on the hammer. And that's the scary part about when we talk about this topic, division, Chef. Division is so important to understand in a relationship because we are divided by so many things. One being man versus woman. But God brought us to be one, a union, not to be divided. So you have to understand black versus white. We are people at the end of the day. So what makes us different, you need to embrace that. Don't look at it as being something that's going to divide you. When it comes to the new things, these new sexual orientations, be who you going to be. Stop trying to worry about everybody else. Because when you start to break down this financial and all these different divisions that we talk about, you start looking at life from a different perspective. Take time out to understand divisions and then take what works for you and work that.
Absolutely.
Stop trying to work what Chef got going on in his life or what Brother Ezra got going on in their life. They already got their life. They doing what they doing. That's good. Work what work for you, because guess what? I got to work what work for me. At the end of the day, we only got one person to answer to, and it ain't you. And it ain't social media.
Yes, sir.
So we, and I thank you guys for your comments and your thoughts. And we have to most definitely reevaluate this so-called AKA list. And this is a man edition, so I'm sure some ladies are watching. So maybe men and women, we should look at this list that we formulated in our mind from conversations from relatives, social media, friends, co-workers. I know I hear a lot of ladies talk more about finding or a good man finding them.
Right.
So like a man should provide emotional, spiritual, physical, and mental well-being.
That's true.
Right, and then some of the roles of a man and a husband, if you want to revamp your list, is a protector, a provider, a teacher, a mentor, a friend, and an emotional anchor.
Wow, I like that.
Okay, but if you talk with a lot of ladies, the first thing they're going to lead with is someone's financially set. So when you say that to a man, it sounds like, well, wow, it sounds like you're trying to get rid of all your financial responsibilities through a marriage or relationship.
That's deep right there. That's deep.
So sometimes our very words can prevent us from eating.
Right.
Right? Not knowing, because all you're doing is repeating something you thought that sound good that someone told you, and it could be a generational thing from an auntie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're wrong. Grandmas was wrong too. They may have been wrong when they told you that,
For sure.
but they forgot as they grow throughout their years to go back and correct that.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we're going to ask you guys to tune in once again. Faquita will be on next week, Wednesday, and I'm sure he's going to have a hot topic.
Right before we go, Friday. And don't we have the thing Friday with the poetry thing?
I don't know. Q, is it this Friday? She just had one that's last Friday, so I don't know if it's every other week.
Right. Okay, well, I think, y'all, when it ain't this week, it'll be next week. We're going to make sure we find out and tap in to y'all, put it on our social media page and let y'all know what's going on.
And we should.
Next month.
It's next month.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right, okay.
and I have to be better with showing up, but I will. I did show up one night, but yeah,
Division.
yeah, it was like I was shaking people's hands on the way out. So, if I had leave you guys with one thing that's going to help bring this thing back together, and you said it earlier, brother, and I think we all agree. And it's accountability.
That was tough. That's tough right there. Yeah.
You got to be responsible for you.
Because when you look at accountability, you may just have to forgive some people, forgive yourself. You have to let go of something that you've been playing a victim role with, but it's been very profitable for you.
Right.
Right? Let it go. Let it go. Have some accountability of what you contribute to get you where you're at. that's preventing you from moving forward.
Right.
Don't hold on to that thing because of conversation. Now you just know it's so good, right? And people, oh, that makes like no, let it go. Have some accountability. Move forward. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but most growth is uncomfortable.
That's true.
We're just gonna leave you with that. I know Q always said, you know, we love you and ain't nothing you can do about it.
That's
but
right.
on the man show, we saying we ain't got nothing but love for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Folk show, folk life.
That's what we got for you. So
Right.
hopefully, I thank everyone.